Hey y'all, it's Brittany. How's it going today? Hope everyone is doing well. In this video, I am continuing my conversation about data center technician jobs. In my previous video, I gave like a quick how-to guide of how to get one of these jobs. And in this video, I want to focus on the best locations in America to find a data center technician job. And this is also important because if you're interested, you got to know where's the best place to go so you have the best opportunity to get an entry-level role, like maybe if you don't have any experience, or if you do have a lot of experience, where's the best locations to find a senior role so you can earn more money and climb up the ladder? So I took the information I knew, did some research, wrote a blog post. I'll put a link to it in the description box below if you want to read it in full, because I'm just going to hit the key points in this video. So why is choosing a work location important? It's important because there are some states where data centers aren't plentiful. So if you live in one of those states, getting one of these jobs is going to be difficult, if not impossible. So you have to consider relocation. If you are really serious about getting a data center technician job and you live in a city or a state that doesn't have one, it's best that you move to one that has dozens of data centers. Thus, you have higher chances of getting a job at one of those places. And I really want you to get paid what you're worth. So if you go to one of these best data center work locations, employers are usually going to pay you more because they're vying for talent. And that's a good way of getting paid what you're worth. So what are some of these locations? I'm going to talk about four. And one of them is going to be surprising. So first, we'll talk about Ashburn, Virginia, then Atlanta, Georgia, Phoenix, Arizona, and Central Ohio. I said that, it's not a mistake. Central Ohio is popping when it comes to data centers. So let's talk about Ashburn, Virginia, also known as Data Center Alley, because it has data centers everywhere. I have been to this part of Virginia, also known as Northern Virginia or Nova. I've been there 3 times. I did some work. For those who don't know, I'm a data center technician here. I'm a data center technician at Google. And in my previous role, or previous team, I should say, I traveled a lot, traveled different data centers in America and even overseas, deploying hardware and training DTs or data center technicians how to troubleshoot, repair, all that good stuff with the machines. And so Asheville, Virginia, have a lot of experience. It's a beautiful area. I like it, but it's expensive. That's one of the downsides. We'll talk about that in a moment. But it's home to all types of data centers. You got Silicon Valley, you got Google, your Amazon, your Microsoft, you got co-location providers like Equinix, QTS, Digital Realty, and you even have US federal government data centers. So if you want to go work for Uncle Sam, you can. You can. So why should you choose Ashburn, Virginia? So I got 2 reasons. Plenty of employers. There are 60 plus data centers in the city and they're building more. I mean, they're kind of running out of land, but they're building more. Like Amazon, I just read an article on data center dynamics that Amazon wants to build, I think like 11 more buildings in the county, around Ashburn, Virginia. It's crazy how many data centers they are putting in this area. So when you have all these employers, again, they need talent, they need workers, but there's not enough. So they're going to pay you more. And because they're going to pay you more, you're going to get higher salary, better benefits. So that's why I really put this kind of at the top. Again, I said this list is in no particular order, but I put it at the top because, it's Data Center Alley, best place to find a job. And there's great networking opportunities. The city and the county hold events constantly where data center technicians can get together and talk. These events help those individuals find better jobs or improve their skill sets. I haven't seen another city or county do this. And so I think these are the 2 reasons why I put it high on the list. But what are the downsides? There's always downsides. The downsides are high cost of living and traffic. Because you're getting paid so much money and because of its location close to Washington, D.C., you're going to have high cost of living. Everything is expensive in Ashburn or just Nova in general. Like all of life is expensive. Housing, food, going to Walmart, even going out to eat. Just everything is expensive. And traffic is bad. Is it as bad as Atlanta, which I'm going to talk about next? No, but the toll roads help. But if you don't take the toll roads like I did when I went to work there several different times, Yeah, you just deal with traffic. It's just traffic. It's traffic everywhere. Traffic on the highways, traffic on the service streets. You want to go out to Walmart, traffic over there. But yeah, those are the two downsides to Ashburn, Virginia. So, if you're interested, again, you got to run the numbers. You got to see, go check it out for yourself. See if you like the area. If you want to go south, maybe Virginia's not for you. You want to go south, you want to go to my home state. I'm a little biased. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia for 8 years. I enjoy Atlanta. We got a lot of people. It's full. I want to say stop coming, but you're going to come regardless. But it's a great location for data center jobs because there's all types. Again, we got Silicon Valley. We got Google and Meta, but they're out in the suburbs. So if you want to be in a city, you're going to go and work out in the suburbs. But, we do have major co-location providers in the city of Atlanta and around like South Atlanta, well, also North Atlanta. So they're all around, and there's more coming. I read about more data centers coming to Atlanta all the time. And again, they're more so coming south, like the Noonan, Union City, Hampton area. So if you are familiar, that's where these places are building because they need more land, and that's where a bunch of land is. So why should you choose Atlanta, Georgia? Again, bunch of employers. And they're in downtown Atlanta. So commuting would be easier. You could live in the suburbs, drive to a MARTA station, and either take the MARTA train or the MARTA bus. Or you can live in downtown Atlanta and then walk or take public transportation. So that's one good option. And there's a bunch of data centers to choose from. You got data centers handling state lotteries like Scientific Games. So if you're interested in that, or if you just want to work with various types of customers at the co-location providers like Digital Realty and Equinix, you got that too. But there are two downsides. Like I said, I love Atlanta, but the cost of living is just getting higher and higher and higher, and the traffic is terrible. Again, I lived in Atlanta for about 8 years. I owned a house in Atlanta. I sold it when I had to move back home to help out family. And I just saw rent going up. I saw mortgages going up. I saw housing prices going up. And it's still high today. It's just getting higher. I mean, people are still moving in droves to the city. And because of that, the traffic is terrible. Yes, the state and the cities are trying to build more highways and public transportation, but with the latter, it's going to take a lot of time. It's easier for them to just throw up more highways, and then you have more cars, and then there's still more traffic. It's just, yeah. That's why I say we're full. Please stop coming, but you're going to. So let's talk about a place that's not as full. Let's go over to the West Coast. Let's talk about Phoenix, Arizona, because Phoenix is a fantastic location for data centers. There's over 40 of them. And if you don't mind traveling about 20 miles away to Mesa, you got the Apple data center, which is considered their global command. So there's some other data centers in Mesa, but a bulk of them are going to be in Phoenix. And you have several major co-location providers like Phoenix NAP, H5, Digital Realty, and QTS. So why do I like to suggest this to you? Because Phoenix, Arizona has a decent cost of living. It is climbing though, and various employers to choose from. The cost of livings are going up because you do have like the Californians who are moving in. You have other people who are not commuting, who are relocating from other places in America. But the calculators I found online said that the cost of living in the city is only 4% higher than the national average. But I don't think that considered housing because housing is high. But that's in every American city. And I also like Phoenix because there's so many different employers to choose from. So if you're on the West Coast or you live in that state, or maybe you want to move somewhere that's warm, I understand, because where I am currently is like 11 degrees or 15. It's some crazy cold weather here and I'm tired of it. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm gonna move down to Phoenix, Arizona. Good reason why, because they got a bunch of data center technician jobs. And so does New Albany, Ohio. You probably never heard of New Albany. I was told about it when I was hired at Google, and they were like, "Hey, are you interested in this place or New Albany?" And I thought they meant Albany, New York. I didn't know about New Albany. I didn't ask. I was like, "Nah, I'd rather go to this other place." And the reason they're talking about New Albany because in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be popping. As of right now, There's so many data, like the Google data centers there, and I've been to New Albany, I've been to Central Ohio, where all these data centers are. I've been to there so many times. I did so much work for Google there. And you just go down like the one main street in New Albany, and you have Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft is currently building a data center. I don't know if they're done. They may be done. I haven't checked. I have to check with some of the DTs up there. But this part of Ohio is becoming not only a place for big tech, but just other data centers. You got your QTS, you got your Digital Realties. They're coming up there. In addition to that, Intel is building their fabrication plant up there. On top of that, you know, it's Columbus, Ohio, so they're known for a lot of their medical stuff. So if you're looking for a medical job, or maybe like if you're relocating and your spouse wants a medical job, needs a medical job, there's a bunch there. It is popping, and like I said, in the next few years, it's going to be even bigger. But there are downsides to this part of Ohio, just like the other three cities. It's getting expensive. Housing is climbing up. More people are living in the suburbs, but they're commuting, so the traffic is getting worse. The city and the state are trying to build more highways to deal with the increasing traffic, but it's not there yet. So it's just a lot of issues, but you would earn more money because all these data centers are vying for talent and they're going to pay. So like the data center technicians I know up there are getting paid more. Some actually told me their salary without even me asking. Some people are just like that. And yeah, they are getting paid way more money in some cases than me because I'm in a lower cost of living area than they are. So there's trade-offs. And so that's the reason why I put it on the list, because I know some people don't want to go to Phoenix. They don't want to go to Atlanta. Maybe they're like, Brittany, I live close to the Ohio Valley. Well, here you go, bunch of data centers. And that's going to be it for today's video. I know there's some honorable mentions. I know there's some other places that people like. Chicago has a lot of data centers. I've been there before, did some work. Texas is booming. I may make a separate video about Texas because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of data centers. Oregon has quite a few number of data centers. So I've heard it's very pretty out there. Never been. I've been to California a bunch of times, but never been there. California used to have a lot of data centers, but because of their power issues and also some of their environmental regulations that are coming up, I think I wouldn't really suggest that. I mean, unless you really like California and you want to deal, but I think some of those data centers, you're just not going to see as many pop up. Like the ones that are already there, they'll stay there, but I don't think we're going to see new data centers pop up there. They're going to other states. So I would just say those are honorable mentions. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, put it down in the comment box down below. I'll get with you. And thank you again for watching. You know, I really enjoy my viewers. I really enjoy interacting with you. And if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'm putting more videos out. I'm actually putting the time in. I was just waiting for the weekends, but no, I decided to put videos out on the weekdays. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.